So before we talk about ship builds, let's take a look at the target. Kixeye is giving us a preview of the elite target for next raid cycle in this VXP weekend. So a few things we need to know. The yellow areas in the water are toxic or radioactive or whatever, corrosive probably. And you gotta avoid them. If your ships go through them, you take damage. There are drones, they're real fast, and they're healed by these other two ships. So if you can kill the two ships first, do it, but otherwise just try to outrun the drones and damage them fast. So high damage output's important. They stun you, and when they stun you, they get stunned back as well. That's reverse for you, sounds dumb, but that's what they do. So if you have anti-stun, stun resistance is important, because then you get out of stun before they do and you kill them quicker. So that's a good thing to have. So agility system is one component we'll be needing. We also need speed to try and stay at maximum range against them and against the Pancake. The Pancake has some UAVs. You can outrange the UAVs, and the Pancake moves real slow at first, but as soon as it takes damage, it goes into a berserk mode and moves real fast towards you, and then the UAVs will fire at you, and they do a lot of damage. So that's one of those turn and run, right? You approach, you hit, you turn back, and you run. So we need very fast turn speed and straight line speed. Same for many of these turrets, especially this one here. Let me zoom in. This turret fires a lot of corrosive pellets, but in straight line you can outrun them. Okay, so that's another key feature to have, straight line speed. And don't make funny moves here when you're in range of this turret. Most of these turrets as well, the missiles here, the brimstone, we can also outrun them. Okay, as long as you keep moving in a straight line, there shouldn't be a problem. And the rest of the targets are repetition of that. So you're gonna have 4 clusters of drone ships and pancakes with UAVs and a few clusters of turrets. So try to take the ships first and then go for the turrets, avoiding the bright yellow spots in the water. Okay, so we know we need anti-stun, stun resistance, we need straight line and turn speed. Okay, and we need range. So 4 very important things to keep in mind when hitting these targets. The Zelos is a very good option for this raid. You know, based on history, the way the Zelos outperformed the Ironclad against the Scourge, and the Zelos again outperformed the Icebreakers against the Garrison cycle, there's a good chance it can outperform the Skyfire, yet to be released auto low skill, whatever they call hull. So especially if you've had a chance to get the tokens from last raid, there were 15 days worth of Zelos build tokens last raid. You know, you could get 2 or 3 of them out fully built before next raid. A naked one takes 6 days, 16 hours to build if you have the officer and R&D. It has more weapon slots than the Phoenix, plus 4 dedicated exclusively for countermeasures. It has very good combat speed, and it has some very interesting bonuses as well. For instance, very high deflection and a 5% bonus for accuracy. It also has a built-in duality countermeasure. It's effective against missiles, which is what matters for this raid. We won't have mortars. It does not shoot down UAVs, so you might still want to consider some flanks here to shoot down UAVs if you ever get in range of them. But this countermeasure alone, if you build 4 Zeloses, each one of them can ditch 8 salvos and reload in 5 seconds. So think about it. 4 of them, it's 40 salvos, so that means you can take a round of 40 enemy missiles coming at you and have a fair shot at each one of them. And with 75% rank bonus, the 5-second reload actually comes down to just over 1 second. So 50% accuracy, which can be buffed by specials, I suppose. I mean, I don't know about the built-in, should be buffed by specials. If not, you can put some flanks here to work as well. Next step is the weapons. There's a brand new missile in FM. If you're caught up on tier 5, you got the missile this week. It's lightweight, it reloads relatively slower at 8 seconds, but it does have very good damage over 5,000, so it's pretty much on par. It also gives the Zelos a corrosive bonus. Each one of them gives 5%, so just by adding the maximum number allowed, 10 of them, we already get 57% corrosive defense, which is not too shabby at all. The main downside of the Zelos is the repair time. You see, before I add any armor, it already has a 4-hour, 10-minute repair time. It comes down to just under 3 hours and a half if you have all the bonuses you could have from R&D and whatnot, an officer. And then when you apply the 5% accuracy bonus, if you think 4 ships, and I say 4 because I strongly believe a flagship will be released, but if it doesn't, you can always use a Savage Kodiak or a Grimshine Wrath to buff the missile reload by 50%. Okay, so, but just with 4 of these accuracy auras, you get 20%, so that means now you are at 70% for the countermeasure, and the missiles are 100%, so you're going to be at 120, which is very good to counter the high evade we've observed in those drones in the level 100 target. Basic specials, you need reactive armor 3. Remember, by now you should have everything at retrofitted at level 15. If you don't, do it as soon as possible. Speed system 5, so with those two, we now have a very good speed, 59. Very good turn speed, we're gonna need turn speed. And we already have 87% penetrating defense. Now again, we have to choose something to extend the range of the missiles, and for that Kixeye also released a special exclusive for generalists, so it goes with the Zelos. Let me find it here. Here we go. It's called Pneumatic Launch Actuator. So it will give 110% extra reload, 25% extra damage, and the 30% range we need. So that's a must-have special for this setup to work. I would honestly not build the Zelos with any other missile or any other special, otherwise they're gonna underperform big time. The last two specials now should be pretty obvious. Siege battery to defend against turret fire and help you kill the buildings. If you want to save on building time, because with this special now you're at 13 days 14 hours, if I change it to garrison battery, you only lose 10% building damage, okay, but you bring it down to 12 days 18 hours if you have it. Otherwise, go with siege battery 3. And finally, we need agility system 4 if you have the limited component. If you don't, use agility system 3. Okay, I'm gonna go with level 4 just to see how it works. So now we have very decent evade. We have the stun resistant that we see the drones, they stun your ship, so you need some defense against that. Okay, and that's all the specials and all the weapons. So let's take a look at, and we're still a very lightweight setup. This allows you to go heavy on the armor, so I'm assuming people building the Zelos did not get a chance at winning charged armors. If you have charged armors, by all means, you could go and add some CO armor and some M armor here. Okay, if that's gonna be your go-to top fleet, you should try to get this. It's gonna make a difference. If you don't, because that's so far very lightweight, you can just go and use the D5 armors. You gain more deflection, you gain the same deflection, you gain the same defense if your armor is at R15. Okay, the main downside is charged armor adds 0 repair time. Regular D5 armor adds 22 minutes or more. So now you're going to be bringing each one of your Zelos to 5 hours plus to repair, or 2 hours and a half on raid time, which can get very expensive. Okay, if the ships are dead, of course. If they can do things for little damage like we could last raid, totally worth it. So we're very high on pen defense. Let's take a look at what can we do for corrosive defense. Okay, see, we could add 3 of those. So now we are at 77% corrosive defense. 90% penetrating defense, and 50% extra versus turrets, which is a very good setup. Okay, you could here, based on the target, I'm not certain about the armors until we see the lower level targets, but it seems that corrosive damage is more prevalent than penetrating damage. So I would tend to put more CO armors here instead of M armors. Problem is, each one of those adds 30 minutes in repair, each one of these 22. So again, your choice. You could go lightweight. Okay, if you don't want to have a super high repair time and you want to see if it works, you could go really light and just pick the smaller armors. They'll build a lot faster and the repair time won't get nearly as bad. So let's take a look at it now. Here, still under 5 hours. Lightweight armor, you still get better defenses. So 89 penetrating, 70% corrosive. That's the bigger loss. We lost 7 points here and we lost deflection. Okay, but now the ship builds in less than 15 days. So even if you have 0 tokens and you gotta build that from scratch, you can get 2 done before raid. Okay, assuming you got the tokens, you can probably get 3, maybe even a 4th with lightweight armor. Then finally, to buff penetrating defense even more and to have a backup plan against UAV, you could add, I would go with flanks 2 or 3. They're lighter, they build faster, they shoot down UAVs, and they give you some pan defense. Okay, so you could put, let me see. Yeah, 2 of those here. We are now at 91%. So that could work rather well. So this is what I would recommend as a Zelos build. I'm not sure about the armors. I'm certain about the weapons and the specials. Just we'll see if and how many flanks we need and what type of armors we need. So you could leave it without armors for now or put very lightweight so it's fast to refit and go from there. Okay? The one thing I was able to do just by collecting the 15 days of Zelos build tokens from this last raid and 8 of the VXP tokens, plus some other Zelos tokens they offered before. I don't know if it was the raid in May or some TLC in between. I was able to get 4 empty shells like this, just a third one. Okay, 6 days and something each. And applying 2 tokens, I was able to rank them to 45%, and now by suiciding these ships twice, right? The first time I repaired overnight, and then this one I'm going to repair it, so just 2 times. So now I have 4 empty shells at 54%. So that already takes 24 days out of the total build time for the fleet and give them some ranking, making them usable next month if that's what you're going to build. I'm going to build the Phoenixes first. So I don't think I'll have these ready for next raid unless Kix releases another batch of tokens, but the way I showed is the way I want to build them.